Sharing your art can sometimes be a scary thing. Imagine yourself standing there uncomfortably while someone else gazes down in judgment on something you worked so hard on. The decision to share your art, either publicly or with someone you know, can oftentimes lead to a feeling of exposure, a certain vulnerability. Sharing this once private art requires a level of unmasking, and some artists compare it to feeling naked. You've opened yourself up completely as you mentally prepare for criticism. You feel the self-conscious urge to cover up or hide, or the embarrassment that comes along with being so unabashedly genuine. Blah 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 3 by Juliette Collet contains a unique blend of fiction and autobiographical comics. A mix of fantastical stories about bug friends forming a band to highly personal stories about relationships. There doesn't seem to be a limit to what kinds of stories or what topics can be talked about. The autobiographical portion might be the strongest section, the story Double Blindfold being a personal favorite of mine. The strip illustrates a story that begins sexual, then turns funny, then turns gross, before eventually making its way back around to being sexual. Everyone loves a happy ending. And the fictional part still sprouts from a real place. Even if the events aren't literal, these people certainly exist. You can see their real faces pasted onto those insect bodies I mentioned earlier. Juliette uses a blend of art styles throughout the book, going from a standard cartooning style to mixed media to photo reference drawings that are stripped down to outlines of recognizable shapes, and utilizes side effects of said material as a feature of the art rather than trying to cover it up. What do I mean by that? Parts of the book are colored with colored pencil, and the gaps left behind, each little speck of white, adds to a texture of what could have been a solid pool of color. This, along with the hand lettering, gives the art a more personal feeling, more physical, like someone sharing their art with you. The art is unique, and it approaches the avant-garde territory at times. I know, fancy. I feel confident in saying that Juliette has an exciting career ahead of her as an auteur comics maker. And after reading more of her work, I was able to spot some recurring themes and subjects. There's an obvious love of music, bonus points for a Breeders reference,
driving on 9,
a desire for performance, and most importantly, a constant seeking for attention. Whether that be from her friends, or from her crushes, or from the reader of the comic. As the book draws to a close, you are left with a parting message. I'm sad to see you go. We moved so quickly, we hardly ever really see each other. But I feel like you saw me. Did you? I need you to see me. This blatant request for attention is refreshing, because it's not attention seeking for vanity's sake, but stems from a desire to share herself with her audience. So often people shy away from that because of the fear of rejection. But to pursue any type of artistic career, this thirst for attention is a prerequisite. It's not enough to just make art, you have to share it with others. And while we want attention, it's also something we can fear. Even now with this video I've made, I both want a lot of people to see it and want no one to watch it. It's a paradox that a lot of artists can relate to. We are blindly giving a piece of ourselves to the world, unsure of how it will be received. And when I realized that, my perspective changed. The entire book began to make thematic sense. This book needs to be seen. Blah 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 is a series based upon revelation. It's an expose, and in every work of art, the artist is offering you a vulnerable side of themselves, and all you have to do is look. This could have easily slid into the self-serving pitfalls that many autobio comics do, the hey look, I have such a hard life, but I'm still an awesome person who can do no wrong type of autobiography. Juliette is able to beat these allegations by presenting us with her flaws plainly drawn out in the story. Yes, she is used, but she also uses. She's the pursuer and the pursued, and this honesty is what lends credibility to her writing. It's one of the hardest parts about writing true stories. To portray yourself fairly requires the acknowledgement of one's own faults. To be unabashedly genuine. The taking off of a mask. The baring of a nude body. Is there anything more brave? That's all for today. Big thanks to Juliette for allowing me to do this review, and thank you for watching. If you're interested in buying one of her books, you can find them at bootleg books at bigcartel.com. Let me know what you think about this format of video, if it's something I should do more of. And if you don't mind, press like and smash that subscribe button on your way out. Thanks. Bye.